and then we will start.
Okay, so Uno basically wanted me to give you guys something to talk about because we didn't want this place to just be waiting for the next Fnatic game or waiting for the next, event to happen. We wanted you guys to have something to meet each other or to, have something to connect with each other because a lot of people feel intimidated by our regular users because we've been around since November-ish, so a lot of people are too afraid to talk or too afraid to get in on actually talking to anyone else because they may feel that they've missed out or there may be some memes that they don't know about, some inside jokes. So this is just a chance for you to meet some of the regulars and get to know each other a bit better so that we're all on the same footing, if that makes sense. And ultimately, this is meant to bring people together. So, with that in mind, this is the first ever edition of the Pope and Loki talk show. Some of you may know who I am already, but if not, I can always introduce myself just for formality's sake. So, if you do want me to introduce myself, then feel free to ask me to.
I think you might as well just introduce yourself. Just easier.
Okay then. So I'm basically known as the relationship advice guy. Hashtag the person that steals your girl. I don't know. Every time someone has a girlfriend, apparently I'm there to steal them. Like Yaniko's girlfriend, for instance, or the girl that moved in with Uno. So best not to talk about your girlfriend when I'm around. But otherwise, I give great relationship advice. Don't hesitate to message me. I'll always be around. I've been around since... I do actually have a girlfriend. So that's what makes it even more awkward. So I've been around since November. I got modded a couple of months ago, along with Hope. But yeah, that's basically me. There's nothing really to tell. I'm not that interesting, I don't think. It's more you guys who I'm interested in. Anyway, you guys might be wondering where Pope is, actually. And Pope is not currently around because you may or may not know that he stepped down due to health issues. So his presence will be greatly missed, of course, because after all, he is the fire to my ice, the Shaggy to my Scooby-Doo, the Watson to my Holmes, my partner in crime, pretty much. So for the moment, it's just going to be me hosting until, or if he ever comes back. So the reason why you're all currently muted is because we don't want people to be talking over each other or arguing and whatever. So you will be unmuted later on if we do games and stuff. But I think that's most of the introduction done. I'm not sure if there's anything else I need to go through. So I just want to go into the formatting and stuff, just to tell you how this is going to work. So everything right now is heavily experimental, including times and content. I didn't actually set the time for today. That was all set by Uno. We may move the times maybe a bit late. What the fuck are you guys talking about?
In regards to the times, we will be doing most of the other days are going to be later, but this one is going to be before the LCS starts generally, so that's why we want to do it at 3 p.m.
Okay, well this is news to me as well, so thank you for that. So we may start off the shows with some previous news from the week before. So like how Stan just got lost in a field of wheat looking for sheep this morning. That might be some of the things that you may hear come up.
Or goats.
Or goats.
Goats.
Then we'll move on to introducing our guests, getting them started for the main segments. And the way I want to run it is more conversational rather than just me interviewing them and talking at them, because ultimately that's what we do here. Stan, they say, is still lost in the field because I think he was meant to be here, but I don't see him. So if anyone has seen Stan in France, please let me know where he is.
Stan has been arrested for the heinous crime of running through fields. You know, it is probably one of the worst things you can possibly do.
It's very naughty, I think, what he just did.
It's extremely naughty.
But yeah, we'll get into the whole conversations and stuff. We'll hopefully get into some of the history of the Discord and maybe uncover some of the mysteries of our memes and whatever. Towards the end, you can call in. So if I think that you have an interesting question, you may be unmuted and you can ask whatever you want to ask and get in on the interview or conversation as it is. Today we'll be going into the preview of the Fnatic games. But if we do move the times, we might do post-game reviews. This will depend as well on the guest because a lot of people have been asking if we do other games like COD or CSGO and stuff. It will depend on the guest. So if I have LK, for instance, obviously I'm going to be talking about CSGO rather than League, for instance. It all depends on who I have with me. So because Yaniko mostly watches League, we'll basically be talking about League today, and because the game is on as well, later on tonight, we can get a bit of a preview and discussion about that. After the show's done, we may get some games going. I don't know what the plan is for today, but we'd start off ideally with a low-intensive game like Cards Against Humanity, so that everyone can potentially join. And then we'll move on to more intensive games like League, CSGO, whatever. It's up to you. But that's essentially the agenda for today. But the idea is for us all just pretty much to chill together. The end will be marked with us picking an MVP of the night, of the event. So the person who we feel contributed best to the show and the games, whatever, asked the best questions, maybe the most entertaining in the chat. It's just for recognizing them and giving them that kind of distinction. But I'm not sure if we're planning to award them. I don't know what the rewards are or the selection process because this is the first time we're doing this. So please, please don't get upset if you don't get chosen because this is new to me as well. And also I wanted to say that I will be inviting people that I recognize for guests. So I might do Stan or something. If you don't get chosen as a guest, please don't take it personally. This is new for me too, so I do need some time to get used to this. It won't be just mods. It will just be people that I recognize or I've spoken to over the months, so I can speak to them easily. As I move through them and get more comfortable with this, I will be inviting some of the newer people on as well. It's just for my sake, so I don't ruin things by being uncomfortable with someone new, that's all. And anyway, I will be, that will be basically the introduction done. If you have any questions, please send them now so I can address them quickly. But if not, we can start moving on to the actual talk show. Well, if your girlfriend's left you, then I can't really help you by introducing the show.
Well, if you just give Loki her number, I'm sure he'll sort something out.
For fuck's sake. So I assume that's everyone is good. How do I get out of the cornfield?
Asking for a friend.
I guess you just call the police and ask them
No,
to
don't call the
arrest you.
police. You'll get them arrested.
That's the point. You get out the field of wheat. Okay, so I think that's basically the introduction done. We will be moving into the talk show now, so I would like to introduce my first guest, who is my boss, unofficially and officially. He is the head mod, so if you ever have a problem, go to him, don't go to me, because I like making him do all the work. He is my friend, and also my worstest enemy ever, because he backstabs me all the time. He is Yaniko. How are you doing?
Hello, Tyrus. Hello, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. I just got back from football yesterday, and I'm just sore all over, so...
Yeah, I literally just went for a run. I got back at like 2:30. not.
I just had lunch as well. You're probably going to say, lunch at 2:30? What a weirdo.
Well, I mean, you have tea at, what, like 8 p.m. most nights, so...
So, I don't know if you know, but I do eat at weird times, and he's always quite uptight about it, so he's like, oh yeah, I eat dinner at 6 o'clock every day, you know.
I do not eat dinner at set times every day. This is not true. I just feel like 11:30 is a bit too late to be eating dinner or tea.
I mean, midnight snacks, dinner, you know. I think as one does, you know, I think most people have dinner at midnight if they want. It's the university lifestyle, you know.
University lifestyle. You're not at uni anymore. You graduated, didn't you?
Yeah, I recently...
So you're not allowed to use that. You're not allowed to use that excuse.
I just use it as life experience now. I'm still at university at heart, you know.
Oh dear. Yeah, you got a 2-1, didn't you?
Yeah, I graduated with a 2-1. To answer your question, we don't actually know how long this is going to run or what the ideal time is. I think we just go with it until it's over.
I believe we're aiming to end at around 4 p.m. because that's when LCS starts today. But we might overrun. We might underrun. We don't really know.
I mean, who cares about the other game anyway?
Exactly.
No one really watches the other teams, to be fair.
I don't even know who's playing, to be honest with you.
I don't know either. I just know we're playing tonight versus Misfit.
Yeah, boy.
That's my life now. I just have other people in the chat that just tell me. See, there you go. Matt Scott's there. He's got H2K Splice. Okay, so...
LCS.
No, we're not going to cast LCS. I don't have the ability to do so, unfortunately.
Lazy.
I'm not getting paid for this, you know. This is out of my own time.
Ryan, you shut your mouth. Do not talk about licorice around me.
Okay, so you started off with a reputation back in November as being the chicken connoisseur. How did that come about?
You, basically. Basically, Loki decided to convince everyone. For those who don't know, the chicken connoisseur is a guy from London, a black guy from London, and he goes around and he basically rates chicken shops in London. And Loki decided to tell everyone that I was the chicken connoisseur, which made a lot of people very confused when we got Snapchat, when we all got a Snapchat group, and I sent a picture, and everyone was like, "Wait, Yaniko's white? What is going on? Like, what is this?" And so I then had to spend about a week explaining to just about everyone that no, I wasn't actually the chicken connoisseur, and it was all just Loki telling everyone that I was some kid from London, which was it was very interesting.
Well, I'm more surprised that people even believed me to begin with.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Because you would have thought that when you're in the voice chat that people would have caught on that you weren't actually this black kid.
I had to tell people that I put on a voice for the videos.
Well, I mean, even I think Wiener Dog had it convinced that you were the chicken connoisseur. It took him ages to come around to realizing this wasn't actually the case.
There it is. That's me. There's a rare pic of me.
That's him eating a burger.
Yeah.
So, you actually, at that time as well, you wanted to ban me. I remember everyone on the one team wanted to ban me back then.
Well, so did, I think Quay did as well. I don't think Quay wanted you here as well.
I don't think anyone wanted me here.
Yeah. No,
I didn't have any friends back then.
That was and then you you called me a backstabber, but you got majorly backstabbed.
I did, actually. I've been backstabbed many times here, but it's just that you do it with the most frequency.
Yeah.
But you know how...
Did I give my Peter box to Snuffle? No, I did not, because Snuffle would send me food, and I don't want to eat Snuffle's food because it is just all disgusting.
Now, one of the things that defines you the most around here is the Colombian flag emote. So,
indeed,
this is what makes you as a person. When I think of you, I think of that flag. I think about myself typing the flag. The first thing that comes to mind when I hear Yaniko is that flag. So, I'm just going to explain how that came about because I don't think you actually do know. But essentially goes back all the way to when he joined. Every single thing that he would say was, "By the way, guys, I have a girlfriend." He would always link stories and everything that he said back to his girlfriend. He'd be like, "Hey guys, hope you're having a good day. I'm just chilling with my girlfriend." Or he'd be going, "Oh, I can't play League, guys. I'm with my girlfriend right now." You know. So I just decided that, you know what, he's talking so much about his girlfriend, I might as well talk about his girlfriend all the time too. So I thought, what better way to do that than spam the Colombian flag, which is where she's from. So obviously, since then, it's kind of stuck around to the point.
There is a picture of Loki stealing my girl. There it is.
Yeah, see, even Ryan's saying right now when we scrimmed with Sheep Team, who joined voice chat, "Sorry guys, girlfriend talking." I think even during the semi-finals of the...
During the finals. Maybe
it was the finals,
the semis, but definitely the finals.
I think she was shot calling for your team.
Yeah, she was.
She was just there in the background, just screaming things at your voice call. So,
yeah, that's the only reason we lost. Not because of anything else. Not because Snuffle threw the second game.
So why don't you go into a bit of detail about how you met her and why it is that you were talking about her all the time when you joined?
So, I met her while I was in Canada. I went to Canada for 6 months to learn French because, you know, it was the obvious choice, someone living in Europe to go to Canada to learn French. And so I lived there for 6 months, and basically we met, and after so I met her on, say, the Monday, and then on the Wednesday we'd already made out. And then basically I got massively friend-zoned, which was very amusing. I can laugh about it now. But you know, she would call me her little brother, like straight up. It was very, very sad times. And then over time, I basically managed to sort of get in there, and we started dating. And then so we started dating in February 20th. So it's been a year and 5 months now since we started going out. So.
And things have been going well, haven't they? Until recently, when she met me in person. And
yeah, she just wanted to leave me as soon as she met you.
I'm not surprised, to be honest, but you know, she did ask for that photo with me just as proof. But she's just like, I need something to remember him. for when I'm not around. I think that was her favorite souvenir.
I think so too. Like of
That
everything she did in London, that photo.
That's the one
Yeah.
that she remembers most. She's showing her family probably. She's like, look who I met. Yeah, on her wall maybe.
Opposite that I can see when we're on FaceTime. The other side of the phone.
She's got it like printed out, massive poster. You know how they have those massive poster boy bands. She just has me and her right there on her wall. But you actually got friend zoned by her, didn't she? Wasn't she interested in another guy at the time?
Yeah.
When she friend zoned you.
Yeah.
So when you go into how did you end up winning her heart over this guy that she was interested in?
So she friend zoned me. She was interested in someone else, and what happened was my family came over to visit, and so I spent a week with my family, and then that week that I was gone, she was like, wait 1 second, like shit, I actually really like this guy. And then when I came back, we basically started dating within like a few days. So it was basically absence makes the heart grow fonder.
So it was more like that saying, if you love something dearly, set it free. And if it comes back...
Exactly. That was exactly it.
So what is it about her that made you want to talk about her every 5 minutes when you first joined? Was it just something that you felt that you would make you look better than everyone else? Was it like... Or was it something that you're just so proud of, I've got this Colombian girlfriend, I need to talk about her?
It was just sort of, I just wanted to sort of say, if I was doing something, if someone says, oh, can you play League? I'm not going to be like, I don't want to be like, no, I don't want to play League with you. I'm going to tell the truth, no, I'm not going to play League because I'm on Skype with my girlfriend. And that was basically it. We were on Skype quite a lot, so it transitioned.
You're actually a very good boyfriend, I think, because you're quite dedicated. I think every night you call her, don't you?
Yeah, we Skype or FaceTime every day, and so it is. I mean, you kind of have to when there's sort of 5,000 miles between you, seeing as she's living in Colombia right now. So I only get to see her every 6 months.
You actually went to visit her in Colombia. So why don't you tell us about Colombia, your trip there? How was it? What did you see there? What kind of food did you try?
I went to Colombia last July, so about a year ago. So she lives in Medellin, and I went there for about a month and a half, I think it was. So I basically went to her house. She was still at uni, which was kind of annoying. So I had to basically go into uni with her and like chill in her class. So
you went to class with her?
I went to class with her because her uni's like half an hour away. So it's not like, because they don't live on campus in Colombia. They're very like family centric, so they still live with their family until they finish uni. So I had to sit in the classroom and all the teachers were like, wait, like this kid's going to get free education. And it was like, oh, don't worry, I have no idea what you're saying. I do not speak any Spanish at all. So
no worries, I don't care about your class. I'm just...
Exactly. So I just sort of sit there and like, did they know he was, I wish I was fluent. It would be so easy. Just make everything so much easier. But luckily they had like uni Wi-Fi.
You do speak a bit of Spanish though, don't you?
I speak a bit, yeah, but nothing like I wouldn't be able to understand like a class, which that's a bit more of a step up.
What was she studying actually?
She's studying business and marketing.
And what were you studying at uni here?
I'm studying chemistry.
Oh, okay, so you have no interest in what she's doing then?
I mean, it's not that I have no interest, it's that they're different. I can watch football and have interest in chemistry.
So it's like
have more than one interest.
So you're going to make some kind of drugs with your chemistry degree.
And then she's going to market them. Exactly, yeah. That's the plan.
It's a match made in heaven. And she's Colombian too, so it's like...
No. Oh, she's going to listen to this recording. No.
I'm sure she wouldn't mind too much.
She's going to kill you. She's actually going to rip your head off next time she sees you.
I mean, does she have to know that this recording exists? That's the question.
She already does.
Well, fuck.
You're already fucked, man.
I'm a dead man.
You are dead. But you got me hella brownie points when you told her that I spoke about her all the time.
Well, actually, yeah, because you came down here, didn't you? With
I came to London. Yeah.
Well, if you guys don't know, Yaniko lives really far north of the UK, so I'm in London, so that's where everything happens in this
I
country.
live in the southwest. I live in the southwest. I live in Wiltshire. Loki is a liar.
So anything outside of London is basically north to me. That's how it works in this country. So to me, Yaniko might as well be in Scotland or back in Canada for all I know, because that's how far he is to me, honestly. He could be Welsh. I don't know. He might be. I think I've seen him looking at sheep, and I've seen the way he looks at them. It's like those eyes that Stan has, you know. So, what about Scotland? Nothing about Scotland. So, when you came down to London with her, what did she think of the city? What did you think of London? Because I don't think you come down here much.
No, I haven't been across to London that much. I've been maybe 3 or 4 times. Wait, what was this? Okay. So I thought it was really good, actually. I really liked London. We stayed in a sort of apartment near London Bridge, Tower Bridge, sorry. So we were quite close to a lot of things. We had like some 48-hour, wasn't actually 48 hours solid bus tour thing, but you could just get on anytime they were open during the 48 hours.
I don't actually like bus tours because usually they don't let you off, but because they could let you off here, how did you find it?
Yeah, so it was hop on, hop off, so you could get on, get off at any point. So it was actually really good because you could just go to wherever you wanted to go and you could just stop. You could have something to eat. You could see, say, the London Eye, Big Ben, which is actually the bell and not the tower. Fun fact for all of you.
That's the fact that I told you, though.
Or no, I've known that fact for a lot longer than when you told me.
Don't lie. Come on. We all know that you'd never been to London before, you filthy midnight.
I've been to London before.
So
her opinion of British.
But you didn't actually. So you didn't actually. You didn't go on that bus tour. That's not the first thing you did, though, was it? You actually.
No, the first thing we did was we met up with you. We dropped our bags off first, which is actually, on reflection, probably the best idea we'd had all trip, because they were very heavy. Walking around all day with those would have been pretty horrible. Anyway, so we met up with you.
But the night before, I was trying to say, like, what do you want for lunch? Because you wanted to meet at the bunker, and I've been there so many times that I'm basically learning Shoreditch. And I've basically learnt the area so well that I know all the best places to eat, which is a bit stressful. So I was like, what do you want to eat? Do you want, like... I have a bed at the bunker, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much.
Muffins prepared a bed for me there, pretty much.
Oi, calm down.
Oh, shut up, come on. I didn't mean it that way. Oh my god, it's a bunk bed, yes. That was actually pretty good. So I was like, hey, do you want Vietnamese? Do you want pizza? Do you want Middle Eastern? What do you want? And then you tell... What you said to me, I swear to you, I read it as putain, which is...
Putain. Which is...
Yeah. Okay, so I thought you said putain, which was...
That's not Spanish, it's French.
I know, but...
No.
That's what I thought you said, so I was like, excuse me? I don't know anywhere. I don't know those kind of establishments. I don't frequent those kind of places. I mean, I don't know what you're into, but that's not what I like. Okay. So then you explained what it was. You can explain it to everyone else, but it sounded disgusting to me.
It's poutine. I mean, I'm sure. I mean, surely, I swear, like most people know about poutine. Um,
Vladimir, this isn't Vladimir Putin.
Yeah, it's not fries with shit on top. It's fries.
That's what it looks like.
It's basically cheese chips and gravy.
Just Google it. It's disgusting. Look at it.
It's cheese chips and gravy. I genuinely don't see how you can go wrong. I genuinely don't see the issue. Like look me in the eye and tell me that cheese chips and gravy is not delicious.
I mean, I don't mind the cheese bit, but the gravy, that kind of looks nasty. It looks like someone's puked on it. I mean, you can see it from the picture right there.
It looks great. Well, it tastes amazing. Thank you, Sylvan. It does look amazing. And it tastes amazing as well. Anyway, looks like what happened to Snuffle yesterday.
So you wanted to go to this place, and like, well, shit, I don't know anywhere that sells garbage on chips. So I said, well, you know what, you guys can find a place, and I'll just meet you there instead. I'll meet you at the bunker.
Yeah,
but then it turns out that we didn't actually
research it enough, and it was something that was only there for the Sunday market, and we got there on a Friday, I believe, which obviously is not a Sunday, and so it wasn't open. So instead, we just got a KFC. Look, it was like, no, we didn't. No, we got Burger King.
Yeah, you got Burger King.
Yeah.
I was so confused when I saw the Burger King bag in your hands. I was like, wait, what? They serve that in Burger King?
Yeah, so we kind of like, do we want pizza? Do we want Vietnamese? Do we want now? Just go for Burger King. So,
so
it wasn't a great start.
It was quite a shock to me because I thought, she's probably come all the way out here, probably wants to try something. Probably wants to try something unique to London, get a flavour of London. You take her to bloody Burger King. So I was like, oh, okay, then. That's your choice as a boyfriend. But yeah, we met at the bunker, and you were a lot shorter than I expected, to be honest. I thought you'd be about my height, but you were more
I'm quite short. Yeah.
Yeah, you were kind of like, I don't know. You were about as tall as Tyrion Lannister. You're kind of like. You're kind of just at my hip, really. And I'm not that tall. I'm like 5'9", 5'10", so you can imagine how short he is.
Bad. I'm like 5'6", 5'7".
Okay, yeah, probably. I think your girlfriend's even shorter than you are. So.
Yeah, she's like 5'3", 5'4", or something.
But it's quite adorable seeing you together because it looks like you're kind of at the similar height. So it's like, look at these little short people.
Oh dear.
So how did you find meeting me in the flesh, meeting me in person?
It's pretty awful. I must admit. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, it was good. You didn't look as I expected you to look. I'm not really sure what I expected you to look like, but it wasn't bad.
It wasn't brown with a short beard.
Well, I knew you'd sent pictures of me before, so I didn't know what you looked like. But for some reason, you just looked different. But I knew it was you. If that makes any sense, which it probably does not.
No, it makes no sense whatsoever.
Yeah,
but we'll just go with it.
We'll just like gloss over that part. And we also met Hawkeye as well.
Hawkeye's really tall. I know people in the chat right now are kind of comparing how tall they are, but Hawkeye's pretty tall as well. He looks like a giant. I didn't really expect it. It was kind of. I was expecting you to be the tall one and Hawkeye to be the short one.
Yeah, I don't know why everyone's thinks that I'm either tall or like everyone at uni thought I was intelligent. They're like, Yannick, help us, and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing.
I don't know why they would think you were intelligent. I didn't think you'd be intelligent at all.
No.
You kind of. But so what did your girlfriend think of the bunker? What did you think of the bunker actually?
The bunker was quite a bit smaller than I expected. It was really nice actually. I remember I spoke to McMuffin for about 5 minutes before I actually realised it was her, and she thought it was okay. I mean, she's not exactly a Fnatic fan. She's not exactly a esports fan. So she was just like, eh. She was just glad that there were seats there so she could sit down.
This is your girlfriend, not McMuffin. We're talking.
Yeah, this is again. Yeah.
But actually, it looks small when you go in there because they've got stuff in the middle, and they've got all these decorations, and they've got all the clothing and everything. You can actually fit about 100 people or so in there.
Yeah.
Because for events, it can get quite crowded, but you'd be surprised at how much space that they can get in there because it's quite flexible with how they can move stuff around. So they tend to change the layout quite a bit for the events and stuff. So it only looks small, but that's because they're putting it out as a shop when you're coming in. But for events, it does look a bit bigger.
Yeah, it's not as bad.
But what did you think of the decor? Did you feel that you'd go there again? Would you recommend it to people?
I think I'd go there again. Yeah, especially to meet people and hang out because there's that little hangout area which is good. Very useful. I also what was that? Paid by Sam. Sent from my HTC. So what were you going to say?
I was just saying it was in a good area, so it's not too bad of a place to meet up, or if you want to go do something else, you can always go to whatever restaurants down the road. There's loads of places to eat around the bunker, which is great. But your girlfriend wasn't too interested in the bunker itself, but what did she think of the area around it?
Yeah, she thought Shoreditch was nice. She liked she just liked the shops, really. That was the main thing. She was, of course, interested in Loki. Yes, that's right, Mad Scott.
Yeah, that was kind of the view that she was looking at when she was going to Shoreditch.
Oh dear. And I think we went to M&M World as well, didn't we? That was.
Oh yeah, I took you all the way down to Leicester Square to M&M World and all of them. I think she was more interested in getting souvenirs and stuff because I think because in London we have one of those. We have loads of those stores where they have these really cheap sort of souvenirs like the Union Jack or like these teddy bears that are dressed up as the Queen's Guard or and she bought like I don't know how many keychains and things.
She bought an insane number. I mean, she spent 60 quid in Poundland, so that just tells you how much stuff she buys.
I still don't understand how she managed to buy.
Nor do I.
60 quid worth in Poundland. I don't even think there's anything that interesting that I would buy £60 worth of over there.
60 items, yeah, it was absolutely insane.
I do gather that she likes her shopping though, because I think she was saying because she was getting upset with you because she flew out all the way to see you, and I think that's when Rift Rivals and everything was happening.
Yeah.
So obviously you wanted to watch the games, so
big mistake.
She was getting upset with you for watching the game. So I worked out a compromise for you.
What you worked out a compromise? I spend the money.
Yeah. So I was saying, well, I mean, I don't know why you're complaining. I basically got you out of this mess. So you're kind of like, well, she's upset with me because, I'm watching the games and not paying attention to her. So I was like, you know what? I have the solution for this. Every time he watches a Fnatic game, go out shopping with her. And she was like, oh, I'm listening. You could see her, like, her eyes just light up, like, yeah, this guy, he knows. So the compromise was every time you watch a game, buy her something. So I think you're kind of in debt now, thanks to me.
I came out of. She went back, and I checked my bank account, and I had minus £26.
And you still owe her 2 hoodies.
Yeah, and I still owe her 2 hoodies. I'm still in debt.
So you have to now work to pay off the hoodie debt as well as
exactly.
filling up your bank account. How much did you start off with before she got there?
I honestly have considered looking, and I do not want to.
You just don't want to like even.
I honestly just I'm not.
I just can't understand like £60 in Poundland. Like it's not even
have to pay for that. But it was literally, we were in Poundland. She had like 4 items. She had like some hair dye, some makeup thing that apparently she needed, but I swear she has like 6 of them already. But you know, and then like some antibacterial hand wash thing. And I was like, oh, I need to move the car because I'd left it in a little car park, and you're only allowed to park there for an hour and a half. So I left to go move the car, and I got to the car, and yeah, Poundland and its premium makeup products. And I got to the car, and she had the key, so I had to walk all the way back. And then by the time I got back, she was stood outside Poundland with about 4 bags of shopping, and I was like, what? She was like, yeah, I bought all this. And I was like, how? She was like, yeah. I was like, how much did this cost? She was like, 60 quid. I was like, what the fuck? How is it even possible to spend that much money in Poundland? I honestly don't know, but she managed it.
I think it's like a world record or something. I don't think I've ever seen anyone come out of Poundland with that many bags.
No, it's just insane.
She treated it like a day out at Harrods or something, or Stratford. She's just coming out with all these bags like, yeah, I just went. I bet she just thought that, you took her to the classiest shop in London or something.
No, she really wanted to go to Poundland, and I now see why, because she clearly had a lot of things on her list. But yeah, she basically like fell in love with Dollarama while we were in Canada, and basically it was like, what I need to go to the English equivalent. That was like her main goal.
It was like a pilgrimage for her, kind of just going from Poundland all across the world, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. It's her goal. Her bucket list is just to go to Poundland in every country in the world.
So what else did you end up doing with her around the UK? I mean, I think that's all you did in London, but was there anything else of note that you did?
Yeah, well, because London was basically sightseeing. She took an ungodly amount of photos. Let's have a look how many
of me as well, I think.
There were actually photos of you, yeah. Albums. London.
And the worst part was that she deleted the best one that we took.
Yeah, she deleted the photo of us underneath the statue of the goat that we were going to have with Stan. But
yeah, we took a photo by the goat for Stan. It was going to be perfect for him, but unfortunately, for some reason, she deleted it.
Yeah.
She was maybe jealous of the attention we were giving him.
Yeah.
So I do remember her taking a lot of photos. Every 5 minutes, it was just a selfie or a photo of something that she saw. She quite liked the churches, I do remember. She was interested in the churches we had here. We have loads of churches in London, so she was quite fascinated by the architecture.
Yeah, because she's Catholic, so obviously churches are something that she enjoys.
I think they've set up a fundraiser for you, Yaniko, in the chat. So.
Fantastic. And your donation.
You'll be getting a small loan of $1 million soon.
That is actually a GoFundMe. Going back, poor kid lost all his money to an idiot. He's been 60 quid in pound.
Your girlfriend's gonna hear this recording and be like, "Oh God, there's a GoFundMe.
Yeah.
Let's see how much they've been donating him, so I can go back to Poundland."
Get Poundland to sponsor Fnatic. I like it.
She could be she does business, so she could do the negotiations. She can go on Fnatic's behalf and go up to Panda and be like, I've seen what you've got out here. I quite like it. It matches the Fnatic fan base, I think. But presumably she doesn't play games then if she doesn't like Fnatic or isn't interested in.
No. She doesn't really play games. I tried getting her into games, but it didn't really work. But she's happy to let me watch games. She's happy to let me play games every so often, so it's not too bad.
When she does let you play games, it's obviously when I'm not around, because every time I ask you, you're just like, no, sorry. It's always okay when I'm not there, but. But of course, you say that she does let you play from time to time. Does she ever offer to join you?
I did get her to play once or twice, but she found everything too confusing. There was too much going on.
She said that you were a terrible teacher. That's what she told me.
Well, because she's like, tell me what to do. So I'm like, go here. And she's like, don't tell me what to do. I'm like, what? So I don't know what to do, and then she's like, why didn't you tell me what to do?
Then she gets annoyed at you for not telling her what to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, maybe if I taught her, she might pick up the game easier. So on the subject of her, I do notice that every single time that I do post in Colombian flag or talk about her, you're always there.
Yeah, I always just pop online and like, hey. So
I mean, because you're offline when I do it as well, so I'm like, oh, he won't notice this. And then I see you just type in that I email, and I'm like, fuck, he's seen it. I always wonder, is this the time that I get banned? Is this the one that sends him over the edge? Is this the one?
One day.
But you actually did ban me once, didn't you? And it wasn't for that.
Yeah. So our good friend Ashley was having a riddle competition, and it was first to 3 or something, and it was Loki went 2-1 up.
No, I was way ahead of you.
You were not way ahead of me.
I won, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
I was miles ahead.
I was still close. I was close by. And I figured the best way for me to win would be to just ban Loki. So I banned him.
Yeah, I will never forget that moment. That was you know how I call you the backstabber? Well, I have an assortment of knives in my back, so, I mean, they'll have all this different, this is an old Colombian knife right here. Or oh yeah, this old northern Celtic knife right here, But that one was the big one. That was a katana, kind of, just right in my back. There was a full-scale riot as soon as you banned me. Everything, my inbox just went mad because everyone was like, oh shit, he actually banned you.
Nothing personal, kid.
Absolute madman banned you over riddles.
Oh dear, that was good times.
Good times. Yeah, that was the best time. It was that 5 minutes where I wasn't on the server to harass you.
Yeah, that was peace and quiet.
But then you did have to invite me back after all, because it's just not the same.
No, I soft banned you, so what it did was it banned you, then it unbanned you, so it just deleted all of your messages and then let you back on the server.
Which is great, because I have a lot of messages that I didn't want newer users to see.
Exactly.
It was the perfect cover-up, kind of.
Yeah. We actually worked together on this.
It was an inside job, basically.
Loki was an inside job.
Loki 2017 inside job. So that's what, because I think I was rank 1 on the messages for some time. I don't know if I still am. Okay. So people might say how the hell is he rank 1 when he barely has any messages? But that's because all of them got erased because of you.
And there was that moment where it was wait, is Loki still going to be number one if I just delete all of his levels? And
I didn't even know if that would have happened. I wasn't even thinking about that. But you were like, "Oh
that
shit,
was
are you
my
not
first
ranked?
thought. I was like, oh no.
Are you still going to be
you.
rank 1?" You didn't care about me. You cared about my status. So you're like, "Is he going to lose that?"
I just cared about the uproar if I banned you because I was in second. So they'd be like,
So then, it did work out in the end. You kind of just erased my messages. That's all it was, really.
yeah.
And of course, have that stain on your ban record.
Yeah.
There's a log that we have of all the people we've banned. So I'm actually on there because Loki reason Yaniko is a sore loser.
Yeah.
Person that banned him, Yaniko.
But you're not in the you're not in the banned list though.
I think I'm on that list.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
You're not on the Discord one. You might be on the spreadsheet.
Yeah, the spreadsheet one. That's right.
Yeah.
That Pope made. Rest in peace, Pope.
Rip.
On the subject of Pope, I do miss the guy because the thing is, this person, I met him in real life because I went to Berlin the week before that I met up with you. And this guy made me laugh. This guy, when I was with him, he just made me laugh for like 4 hours straight because it was just the two of us at the very beginning before we could meet up with anyone else. So he made me laugh so hard. That's what made me feel sick because I couldn't stop laughing with this guy. He just has a gift of storytelling. I don't know what it is. Like, he'll tell you the story better than I ever could, but I'm just going to tell you it anyway. So we're in the airport, right? And he was saying like, you know the Titanic? And I go, yeah. He goes, okay, so I'm watching the Titanic with my mum. And you know that bit where Jack and Rose are on that door and they're dying? And he's like, Jack, no. His mum pauses the film and goes, why aren't the polar bears eating them? So he's like, Mum, what are you talking about? And she goes, well, because the polar bears, they're the ones that sunk the Titanic so they could eat people. So she actually thought that polar bears went on these glaciers like pirates, moved these glaciers around.
You mean icebergs? You know what a glacier is, right?
Oh, is it not? Oh, fuck off, or whatever.
Like an ice river.
Right. So they move these icebergs around like pirate ships to sink these ships so they can eat people. So it's just like, yeah, when the Titanic hit, those polar bears were jumping onto the ship and eating people.
That's gold.
I'm just like, what the fuck? What is this? And he goes, she has her own theory of why polar bears are going extinct. And I go, and he said, her theory can be summarized by one word, and she said it to me really seriously. It was Americans. So what she said was, oh yeah, you know how Americans, they have this, they always wear white fur in movies and stuff. They always have this white fur. It's because they're going around in Antarctica shaving polar bears for their fur. So she thinks that there's these Americans going around in the Arctic, like going around shaving polar bears like sheep for their fur and leaving them to die in the cold.
That is brilliant. Oh dear.
And another one was that she thinks she says penguins don't fly anymore. The reason is because humans invented planes. So if penguins ever need to fly, humans invite them on planes. So then what happened was Pope found this fake video of penguins flying again, and he showed his mum. He goes, Mum, look, penguins are flying again. She goes, oh, how's that what happened then? And he goes, oh, it's because humans aren't letting them on planes anymore, so they have to fly again. Oh, I see Stan's joined us now. He's out of the field of wheat.
Well, he's not in voice, though. He's not really here.
I don't know how he managed to escape, but now he can't connect to the
Just first Riot bans
he's a mess right now.
In Counter-Strike, now Discord's banning him. Stan, the ban's man.
He's just a rule breaker, isn't he? So, back to you and your time here.
Yeah.
What's it? So you're basically head mod. So that means that you're the second in charge of this server.
Yeah.
In theory.
In theory.
How did you end up getting the job? Well, I say job. How did you end up getting the position? And what's it like being head mod?
Well, basically, I was just easily the best mod.
I don't think that was true, but
No
keep going.
contest. um, basically, I just helped Uno out with setting up all the bots, and I was very active, and basically I needed server permissions to be able to set up the bots and to change what the bots were doing. And so I needed admin rights, and so Uno created head mod, gave it admin rights, and then made me head mod, and it's just sort of stuck ever since.
So it was pretty much you were the only one that knew what you were doing at the time. That's
Pretty much, yeah. I was the only competent mod, yeah.
So since then, you've been head mod for a couple of months now, nearly.
I'm not sure when it was. It was around Christmas time, I think.
So that's about 7 to 8 months now.
Yeah.
So what's it like being head mod since then? What kind of responsibilities do you have? What's it like with that position of responsibility, and how does it affect your daily life?
My daily life. I don't know. It means that I feel like I should be here a bit more. I'm able to do things like create channels, delete channels, create voice channels, and all of that. I can change roles, so I can make people mod, I can make people Fnatic official. I can.
You can ban people for winning at riddles.
Exactly. And I can make it so that roles have different permissions. So I can do just about everything Uno can do. I just can't ban Uno, which is a shame. One day I will overthrow Uno.
It's all confirmed now. You've said it. You can't take it back. It's on recording.
Shit. Stop the tapes.
Well, stopping it's not going to help. You're gonna have to find the person recording this, and you're gonna have to murder him.
That seems very extreme.
Well, you got to get rid of the evidence now. Your job is in danger. I'm not going to come murder you. It's his job. I don't mind.
No, Loki's not the one recording. It's
the truth is out there.
I don't know how to pronounce your name. Kier Wade.
I do need to ask him about that name eventually, though.
He did tell us how to pronounce.
No, but I'm wondering if it's actually his real name or if it's just something he's given himself. But anyway, so how is it that you ended up supporting Fnatic? So what was the beginning for you as a Fnatic fan?
I was introduced to League by some friends from school. They all played League, and I was basically the only one in the friendship group who didn't play League, so I eventually got persuaded to play League.
When was this? Was this
season 2? So late season 2, maybe pre-season 3. I feel like I started playing it around about the time when TPA won Worlds, but obviously I didn't watch that because I'd only just started playing the game. And then as I was playing, I found out about TPA winning Worlds, and I was like, oh, okay, there's a competitive scene. And so I was like, right, well, I'm going to watch a game. And it was the Fnatic versus Meet Your Makers to qualify into the Season 3 LCS. And I was like, right, whoever wins this, I'm going to support. And Fnatic won, so then they were my team.
Is this also how you picked Manchester City as your team?
No, because I started supporting them when I was really young. We never won anything then, so.
Can you imagine how different history would look for you if Meet Your Makers had won that game?
Imagine, that would have been insane. All the Move Your Mum memes.
It would have been, you wouldn't be here today. You'd have set up the Discord for Meet Your Makers and have set up.
And
you'd have
dive bombed from there.
You wouldn't even have gotten a degree in chemistry. You'd been in real estate, just moving people's mothers.
Moving mothers.
So when you think of Fnatic, what kind of player do you associate the organization and the brand with? Who's that one player that's always been your favorite?
I mean, I wouldn't say there's one, but it's gonna have to be. Well, no, I only started watching Counter-Strike sort of this year, really. So it wouldn't be a Counter-Strike player. It would be, Xpeke, Reckless, Soaz, Cyanide, Yellowstar are probably the ones. I never really liked N-Rated that much, I must admit, even while he was a Fnatic player. So yeah, it was definitely, those core were, Soaz, Cyanide, Peke, Reckless, Yellowstar.
See, that's my favorite lineup as well.
Yeah,
but I did like the one the season before with Pushu as well. But
I did like
that kind of that kind of core lineup. That's kind of what was my favorite one. But what was it like? But if you had to pick one player specifically, who would it have been as your favorite?
Probably Peke, just because he was the one who would interact with the fans, and I remember the videos of them in their old gaming house, and Peke would always be the center of attention.
See, we have the same sort of mindset here, because Peke is also my all-time favorite as well. Yeah. So I think I had his picture for ages on here, but I always felt that he was the most entertaining of the lot as well. He's quite charismatic.
Yeah, exactly. Ryan, we don't talk about Peke ADC. That's a timeline that I don't.
But if you had to pick your favorite Fnatic moment, what would that have been?
So, my favorite Fnatic moment that I watched would have to be when we secured the 18-0. Would probably be that, just because of how insane that was. But my favorite Fnatic moment of all time would either be, winning season 1 or the Xpeke backdoor, which every single time I watch it, I get hyped.
See, I think the backdoor for me was that moment that I always think like, wow, because everyone thinks of the Faker Z versus Z moment as their favorite, but I was watching that game live versus SK, and I was thinking, holy fuck, there's no way we could win this. And as soon as he Xpeke last hit that Nexus, I knew that history had basically changed forever, because that was going to be one of the most defining moments in League, and I could see it in my head. Like, everyone was going nuts. The casters, the crowd, like social media, everything was just going fucking nuts.
Yeah, it was just insane.
So, I think also in League, we're kind of similar in terms of the champions that we play. So, what kind of champions do you play, and why do you like them so much?
I'm probably. I mean, obviously, I'm silver, so I'm not actually that good at the game. But I like playing assassins, even though I'm generally not very good at them, just because it's enjoyable to sort of jump around the map and just kill people. Even if it's just 1-for-1 trades, I love just diving into the backline and killing people, which is probably why I'm silver. But but I also do like tanks, because you just get to dive into the team and just sort of stay there for like an hour while you just hit people in the face and they can't do anything. So I like most roles, most champions, to be honest with you.
Um, I've got one question from Sylvan, who wants to know, what was your worst Fnatic moment that you remember or split?
It was probably the one where we had, what was it? It was Gamsu Spirit, Forbidden, Reckless Yellow Star. When we then got Kikis. So it was, like I sort of, because I think it was while I was doing A levels. So I was busy with A levels, and so I was missing all the games, and so I was basically checking the game to see if we won, and if we didn't win, I just didn't bother watching the replay because I was like, I'd rather just study than watch an hour of us lose. So
For me, it was because I hadn't missed a Fnatic game ever since I started watching them play. So
yeah,
I watched that whole season in its entirety live. So you can imagine how depressing that was.
yeah, I can only imagine. Like even last split, I wasn't so bad because I felt like we were still competitive, and yeah.
We've got a question for you. Have you ever wanted to kill me or Stan? And he's going to ask me to ask the same question.
I feel like kill might be quite a strong word. You know, physically maim, yes, but no, I'm kidding. No, obviously not. Loki and Stan are both my friends. Don't let Uno hear that I said Stan is my friend. Poor Stan. So yeah, no, I wouldn't want to kill either of them.
Have I ever thought about killing either of you? I mean, I think you've come close to killing me a few times because some of those knives that you put in my back,
they were pretty deep.
Yeah, they're kind of like, I think you might have missed a lung just about, you know. So you've come pretty close with me. I don't know about Stan, but I am meeting Stan in France, in Paris actually, for the LCS finals. So
That'd be good.
I don't know how he is in person, so we'll see if I want to, if I have the urge to kill him. But until then, I think I'm good.
You're gonna Stan, where are you? Oh, I'm at a family meeting.
I'm at my castle, just hiding from you.
Yeah.
So, Yaniko, do you think that Season 5 Fnatic would beat this current iteration of Fnatic, Season 7 Fnatic? It's a question from Sylvan.
What, as in, do I think that this current iteration of Fnatic would go undefeated in Season 5?
Together, I presume is what he's asking.
So if we wound back the clock with the other teams, but kept our team the exact same skill level.
Well, I think it's just like if they were to play together.
Oh, if in a best of 5, would Season 5 beat Season 7?
That's right, yeah.
I don't think so. Well, I think it would be close. I don't think they'd sweep them 3-0 because we saw, even in our undefeated split, SOAS was very much an issue for the Fnatic team because he basically played that gangplank and made us like go, oh shit, we have to pick or ban gangplank, and we didn't really want to ban it, so Huni had to pick it. So I think SOAS can definitely hold his own against Huni, who was kind of the sort of the main carry threat on that Fnatic. And then mid lane, Caps, I think, could have held his own against Forbidden. Rainover and Broxer, I think, would have been pretty evenly matched. I think Reckless and Reckless would probably be an even match as well. And then Jez's and Yellow Star. Again, I think Jez is more mechanical, but Yellow Star definitely has the tactical edge.
See, the way I look at it is maybe top lane you have somewhat of an even match. The jungle's quite interesting because you've got still a rookie that's learning and coming to his own, and then you have Rainover, who's a bit more experienced. The mid lane, I think, is the biggest mismatch in favor of Fnatic because I think Febiven has shown that in that year he was better than Caps has shown that he can be here because he's a lot more consistent. And
Yeah, I think Caps could have held his own against Rin. I don't think he'd have been smashed 1v1, but Caps definitely wouldn't have won the lane easily if it wasn't for, say, jungle ganks.
But then, having said that, I think that Reckless right now is a much better player than he was back then because I think he's starting to learn how to come back into carrying the team a bit rather than playing second fiddle a little bit more than he was that year. So maybe
I'd say he was third fiddle.
So maybe he's more
Vivian than Reckless.
Exactly. So I think he's more intelligent as a player now as well.
Yeah. So I think the bot lane would have won lane for current Fnatic against old Fnatic. But then would Yellow Star shot calling have made a big difference? And I think yes. But I think that he wouldn't have been able to win every single game.
I think it'd be quite a close match, but I think it just comes down to how good Yellow Star's calling would be in the match. I think he would probably be the deciding factor of this. Like, which Yellow Star would turn up? Would it be the 2016 shot calling Yellow Star or the world class?
I mean, it would be the 2015 one because we're talking about 2015.
Yeah, but I think in 2016 when you could see when he was out of his comfort zone a little bit, he kind of struggled. So would that replicate versus a much more advanced looking Fnatic in Season 7?
I guess, yeah.
We've got another question from Walshy who's asking you, who's the best mod in this Discord?
I think it would have to be Taco God, most definitely.
Is he even still on mod?
He's online. He's online right now.
Is he online? I thought he forgot his password. I mean, this guy, like, this is the thing. We have a few mods that Uno made that he was his friend, but they're never really around. So I think Taco God's one of them.
Yeah.
I think he lost his password or something, but he's back now. I don't think I've ever heard him or seen him talk, apart from a few times. So you think he's the best, right?
Oh, definitely.
So if he's the best, then who would be the worst?
Stan. I mean, there's no doubt. It's always Stan, isn't it?
So why in your mind is Stan the worst mod?
No, I don't actually think we have a worst mod. Like, I think all the mods are pretty good at what they do. For instance, obviously Stan was in Sheep Team, which was very enjoyable. I enjoyed being in Sheep Team. Obviously you are a good friend, Zephyr, good friend. Legend Killer is new, but he's a nice guy, I can tell. He's a top lad, so that's all the mods that are online. So I don't think we have any lads. I don't think we have any bad mods at all.
I think a lot of the mods tend to specialize in something. They kind of, I think what we have in our team is that everyone brings something to the table. So Walshy, his obsession with robots and all of that.
Walshy's a bot. He's not a mod.
I don't even think he's real.
Yeah.
Zephyr does the Dota stuff. I mean, no one watches Dota anyway, but if there is anyone in the Dota chat, Zephyr will know.
Yeah.
I think Stan is actually quite underrated for what he does. I think he's fantastic, actually.
I think Stan's a great mod.
I think Stan, everyone BMs him because I started the whole train of insulting Stan. I think it's stuck a bit too much because now everyone's doing it, poor guy. But but it's basically like, I think he's fantastic. He takes so much abuse, but he just doesn't. He doesn't actually give a fuck. He just kind of rolls with it, And he's always in the chat and everything. He's always interacting with people or asking to play game with people. So I think that's pretty cool of him. Someone wants to know what you think about the rumors of Dennis and Olaf leaving Fnatic, and the rumor that Olaf is going to FaZe. I haven't heard of that rumor, but what do you think about that, Yaniko? Because I know you watch a bit of CSGO.
Yeah, I've been following the CS team quite a bit since this Discord was created, and I was sort of, you know, I had to sort of moderate other chats other than League of Legends, obviously. So I started doing CS:GO because it's probably the most active after League of Legends. Often it's more active than League of Legends, and I don't think Olaf is going to phase. First of all,
But this isn't the first time he's been rumoured to leave, because I think there was a Swedish shuffle ages ago where he was rumoured to leave as well. So these have been popping up a few times. Do you think there must be some truth to that, because there's no smoke without fire, or do you think it's just people making shit up because of the sake of it? You know, what do you think?
I don't think that there's like you can point with the current Fnatic team. I don't think you can really point a finger and say that person is underperformed, because like every single game it's like JW and Olaf get 20 kills, and then the next game it's like Dennis and Crims are on 20 kills, and you know JW and Olaf are not doing bad, and then you know Flushes pops off, and it's just like, you know, everyone has their moments, and we just need to start getting a bit more consistent. And I don't think you're going to get consistency if you start changing the team up. So I don't think they should change the team. I think they should. I mean, they just got legend status. And
they do seem to be quite committed to each other, I think, because
yeah, and you can tell they have fun with the imaginary coin flips. That was very funny.
I think they kind of recognize that breaking up again isn't the solution, and maybe they want to stick together and develop, as Sylvan has just said in the chat. But someone's brought up, do they have a choice, or if it's a strict contract? Well, Fnatic have always said that they're never going to keep an unhappy player, and I think if you ask any staff member, if a player's unhappy, then they'll facilitate change. So it's not necessarily a contract issue. Fnatic have always been an organization. You're more than welcome to ask staff about this. I know Hawkey's always up for talking about this whenever he's online, but they've always put the players first before the org themselves. They've always said, you know, if you want extra pay, we can negotiate that. If you want things done like bonuses for having items in the shop, like Reckless has his face on a mouse pad, for instance, they can negotiate a percentage of profits from that. Things like this.
You know, like Yellow Star going to TSM, Reckless going to Alliance. You know, they expressed desire to leave, and they were allowed to leave, even though they were, you know, really good players for us. They were sort of the core of Fnatic.
So I think that's kind of what makes Fnatic quite a special organization in a way, because they don't hold players hostage or anything. And even when Reckless was going through his issues, they had a psychologist speaking to him, and like LK has just said in the chat, there was Olaf and his injury. They were patient with him and everything. They weren't actively looking to replace him, for instance. So I think that's one of the values of having an organization that puts the players first, because if you have that mentality where they're going to put you first, then obviously you'll want to stay with them, because you appreciate that kind of stability in your life that you wouldn't necessarily get at other organizations.
Yeah,
I think that's quite the reason why Reckless was saying that he wanted to stay on with Fnatic. And on the subject of Reckless, the Life of Legends episode just came out.
It did, and it features Reckless, I believe.
Did you have a chance to take a look at it?
I have not yet had a chance to take a look at it. I was on a run, and then I had to take a shower, and then we had to set this up.
So in the video, he goes in depth about what's been going on with him. So I don't know if anyone hasn't seen it, but there might be minor spoilers if you're planning on watching this. But he was basically talking about how he had a lot of pressure on his shoulders of having to carry the team, and he felt that separating himself from the team was the best call. What do you think about that?
I think that's it. I mean, it really is just like how do different people deal with different things. Some people might say, okay, the team needs me, so I'm going to be there for my team. Or they might go, you know, oh my God, the team needs me, and I don't know if I'm strong enough to do this, so I'm going to focus on myself so that I can help my team. rather than sort of trying to do two things at once and doing a half-assed job of both of them. So yeah, I think that's fair enough. I think it's fair enough that that's what he wanted to do and that's what he felt was best for him. But it's good that he's sort of getting better, you know.
But he's got a different pressure to the other players as well, because he's basically the franchise name, and he's always been sort of the pillar of our team in a way. So I guess people handle pressure differently. So
Yeah.
it might have been, in his opinion, the best thing for him, as you've said. But I guess it's a good thing that he's recognised that it's not what's best for the team. Exactly. Yeah. So I think it's quite commendable that he's been willing to come out and say that as well, to kind of, because not many people, not even just in esports in general, not many people are quick to basically throw their hands up and say, you know what, I've done something, it wasn't the best idea, I was kind of wrong to do this.
Yeah.
I'm trying to fix it, you know. So being quite open, especially for a public figure, that's quite commendable to do.
And the opinion of Reckless has always been pretty divided. There's been people who say he's a really good ADC. There's been people who say, "Oh, Reckless sucks. He's just a KDA player. He's not actually good at the game. He just, anyone can do what Reckless does. He's just a cleanup." And I don't think that's true. I think, I don't see how you can see Reckless flashing into 5 people on the enemy team as Kennen and saying, "Oh my god, KDA player sits at the back of the team." He's never been like, forgiving, aggressive, but he's always in the fight,
But I don't think I've ever seen him criticized as heavily since Elements.
Oh no, yeah, Elements was
after Rift Rivals, he was kind of slaughtered. Like his character, his playstyle, everything was just come under question. I've never seen that from him, so I think. But do you think that might have been a positive thing? I'm not saying that. Like, I'm not trying to justify that behavior, but do you think that might have been what set him to think? Maybe I'm not going about this the right way. Do you think that kind of pressure ended up being a good thing?
I think that the fact that we lost so many games and the fact that we did so badly against NA was enough.
So you don't actually think it was
I don't think
the social media
hatred was constructive.
I like to imagine that even in the worst of it, that he took something that was so negative and took something positive out of it. Because I don't think unconstructive criticism has to be something that hurts you. I think it could be something that, you can say maybe there is something to what they're saying, so I can try and work on that. But I'm not trying to justify the hatred, but I like to think that he was mature enough to see that, from the outside perspective, that there wasn't something right to what he was doing.
Yeah.
But they've changed things up now, and that kind of leads us to the next game that we're going to see versus Misfits tonight. What do you think of our chances going in? How do you think the new system is going to be working? Because we're coming off a big win versus Unicorns of Love. So what do you think about the score for today?
I think that we should have beaten UOL 2-0. We should have won that first game. So I don't see why we can't beat Misfits 2-0. But honestly, I'd just be happy with a win. But I am expecting a 2-0.
See, I don't think it's the end of the world if we ever go 2-1 against a team, even if it's a terrible team. Because I think people tend to be quite reactive to the scoreline too much. Like, oh, we went 2-1, we should have gone 2-0. I mean, honestly, I think every game that we play, there's always something to take away from. So I always try to look at the positives when it comes to the league team playing, because I think when we do lose, people tend to be quite quick at looking at the negatives, like, oh, the draft was shit, and oh, the players played terribly. Like, I mean, we might play terribly that one game, but obviously it's so valuable going forward because, this is still the regular season, and we still have a lot to learn. We're not
And we're already in playoffs.
exactly. So there's so much room for experimenting, and there's so much room to grow. And honestly, I'm actually really happy with how things have been going ever since spring. You know, you can see the sort of development as a team. You can see the improvement. You can see the teamwork as well. I think you know, whilst individuals are playing well, I'm just so happy to see how well we're playing together as a team.
Agreed.
But has there been any player that sort of stepped up in your mind? Has there been a stand-up player for us in spring? Who do you think that would be your sort of MVP of the league team right now?
I think, Broxer Soaz. I think Jesus has played really well. I think since spring, Jesus has really shown that he can play support. You know, he's not just there because we're like, well, we need someone who can play supportive champs. You know, I think Jesus has shown that he can play support. Him and his synergy with Jesus when warding and stuff is a lot better. And I don't think it's fair to say that Caps isn't doing well. Yeah, okay, sometimes he does stupid shit like die 1v1. But I still think that, late game he is an absolute monster.
So going forward, do you think that Broxer or Caps will step up for this game coming up against Misfits, or how do you expect it to go?
I think Caps is gonna do well against Power of Evil. I don't see him sort of losing lane 1v1. And I think that Reckless is going to do better than Hansama. I think that, the whole team as a whole and individually are going to do better than Misfits.
One of the matchups that I always find interesting between Misfits and us is Soaz versus Alfari, because there's such a contrast between the two. Soaz is kind of the veteran that's kind of in the stable one, the one that's always been around, and then you have Alfari, who had all this hype train coming in, and he's sort of this new generation of top laner. So what do you think of the two players, and how do you think that's going to go?
I mean, Soaz has proven time and time again that he is a elite top player. He can play carry champs in the top lane. He can play champs in the top lane, even though he hates doing it, even though they're dog champs. He can basically just take a game into his own if